it's time we have a talk. Um, I made a couple videos about my Rivian and things about really not wanting to get rid of it, stuff like that. Talking about the different options, whatever. And I ended up not posting that video because I was all over the place. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I really didn't want to get rid of my Rivian, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to get the Cybertruck. I had, reserved a Cybertruck. I was all excited about it and, couldn't wait to watch the event and, all that. So, um, things did not work out the way I thought they would. I was like, what is it? They got water in their tire? Okay. Um, Things did not work out the way that I expected them to. And so now I don't really know, well, up until today, really didn't know what I wanted to do. So my Rivian is a great truck and it does everything I need it to do and then some. I mean, you can see here it tows, it does whatever. And I've had no complaints. It has done everything I wanted it to do. There's been no lacking moment of anything. This is a lacking moment. It only has 120-volt outlets and it's 15 amp and that's it. Um, so when talking about electric trucks, Rivian is basically the only one on the market that does not offer some sort of high power onboard power. Ford offers a 30 amp, 240 volt system on the Lightning. The new Cybertruck will now offer a 50 amp 240 volt, and Chrysler with their Ram Rev are claiming 50 amp 240 volt on that truck as well. So it's kind of like Rivian is the lowest offering as far as onboard power goes. Sure, they've got some other things going for them, like the air compressor that no one else does, and whatever. But that has been a big factor to me. I really want some sort of onboard power better than what I get here. And what I've got has been working. I know my limitations, so obviously I'm not overloading it, but for what I've been trying to use it for, it's been working fine. In some cases, I thought, it would never run this, and it did. Ran it just fine. So, can't complain there, but I always have to think, well, what if? What else could I do with this truck that I really will want to do but can't? Um, the other big thing for me is the size. The truck is very small. It's like a mid-size pickup truck. And the issue with that is, there's not a lot of interior room. The rear seat is actually really small, and so it's hard to fit full size adults. You might can fit four, not really comfortably, but you can fit four. And beyond that, then it's kind of like, oh, well, yeah. Um, it's not very big. And then that extends on to the rear of the vehicle, too, because the bed is only 4.5 foot long. And any kind of cargo really just doesn't fit. Um, there are a lot of little things about the truck that just could be better, like this wireless charger, for example. It sucks, and so you have to get an aftermarket one for it to even work. But the moonroof is static, which who cares? It's not a big deal, but it does have a moonroof. I like that. These trucks are also really considered off-road vehicles, and I'm never taking my truck off-road. So I guess there's that. So I've kind of been going over, what I want to do. Do I want to replace the truck? Do I want to just keep it? And I had decided that I was going to trade the truck on a Cybertruck. The Cybertruck was announced. I ordered a tri-motor back when they first were announced years ago. And at the time, the tri-motor was supposed to be $79,990. And, I mean, you really can't beat that. So I was all about it. And so I ordered it. And, as the time got closer for them to do their first deliveries and start talking about the Cybertruck, I was like, this is gonna be it. I'm gonna get one because I really love the uniqueness about it. I love it because a lot of people hate it. If a lot of people hate it, I know they're not gonna go buy one. So I will probably for a long time have the only one around here, and I think that's pretty cool. Not that it matters, but that's just something I would like. Um, Ultimately, when they did the Cybertruck announcement, I didn't get to watch it live. I had other things going on that day, and was not a good day. But when I, came to the computer and looked, I'd like to drive here, wherever this is. I just want to go here. I came back to the computer and looked at the announcement, and I seen that the price had increased $20,000, and I was like, "Holy moly!" So my $79,000 Cyber Beast, as they're calling it now, is $99,000, and within my price range, I can only get the dual motor. I can't get the tri motor, and even at that, I mean, no, we want to see actual price. $79,990 for the dual motor all wheel drive. That's kind of a lot for what it is. If you compare it to other trucks on the market, yes, the Rivian is going to be way more expensive. However, my early order for the Rivian secured me an early price. I could go buy a brand new quad motor with a faster acceleration, and actually faster top speed than the all-wheel drive Cybertruck for about the same price. I can still lock in an order at 79 right now. And really all that this truck, well, there's a lot of minor differences between the two, but really price isn't one of them. And I don't know, I just don't see the value in paying this kind of money. What I really wanted was the Cyber Beast, but I'm not paying $100,000 for a truck. I mean, I get it. Trucks are expensive these days, and if you want to get something nice, you got to get something, nice. But anyway, I backed away from the Cybertruck when it was announced, and I seen these prices, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't me. This isn't gonna work. And I just decided to keep my Rivian. So back over here to Rivian we go. The thing is, I've got a lot of things going on, a lot of ideas, a lot of things that I would like to do. One of those things involves a business based around the onboard power of a vehicle, and Rivian doesn't have that, and so that kind of puts my business idea on hold because I mean right now, like my old business is it's still there, but it's not making a ton of money. It doesn't really have a whole lot of customers right now, and it doesn't really, you know, need a whole lot of attention from me right now. I mean, there's not much I can do to make it better than what it is now. So, I didn't realize that the badging and brake calipers are different colors on the non-quad motors. Didn't know that. Anyway, I think that I have officially outgrown the Rivian. I think that, size-wise, it's just too small, and capability-wise, it doesn't really add up. It doesn't stack up to the competition that's out there. Another big one that I was really looking at was the Ram Rev. Don't mind the Renegade there. That's Kyle's. He just bought it. Okay, my keyboard's not working. The Ram Rev, which is not out yet. Who knows when it will be out. But I did put a $100 deposit down for a pre-order because I thought, whatever. They're claiming that it'll be just as good as all the others. It's also supposed to have air suspension, which makes it better than the Lightning, better than, half the trucks on the market today. Absolutely no interest in the Silverado EV, no interest in the Hummer EV. No, that's not at all what I'm interested in. So, that kind of brings me to the only other truck that I haven't talked about yet. And that would be the Ford F-150 Lightning. Now, obviously, if I'm going to get one, I'm going to want a platinum because that's the way I do it. I like new, or I mean, I like nice rather. They have some here used in the 50s, which is crazy. That's crazy cheap. But every single one of these have lemon titles. So that's definitely not me. I don't know if there was an issue or what ended up happening there, but no, we're not doing that. So we'll go back to you or to new here and pull it up. And so the new ones start at 75 and they go up from there, and that's really not that bad. I would want something with the power deploy running boards. That's something I'd really like to have. I could probably get it put on later for one like this one. But the thing is, I've, for the most part, for years, have been against the Lightning. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was a good truck. I felt like they took, a cabin chassis and slapped a battery on it and said, oh, it's electric. And I just didn't like it. However, I feel like they've had time to make changes and they've had time to fix the things that are wrong with them. And in this, in these cases here, like they are like other than autopilot, because I think autopilot and maybe Super Cruise are the only ones that do it. So now Blue Cruise also will change lanes for you on the interstate. I really like stuff like that. I buy that enhanced autopilot for all my Teslas because I like it. So I'll go ahead and show you the issue here. The Lightnings are, yeah, they're about 80 grand, but they're usually about 10 or 15,000 off MSRP. Now this one does have the power running boards. And I've not actually looked at this particular one yet. I just picked it at random because pretty much all of them have the same problem. Let's see if I can find a window sticker right quick. Every single truck, brand new, 2023, that you click on has the same common denominator, and that is removals. Things have been removed from the truck because we want to pump them out as quickly as possible. We don't care. We're not trying to make the best trucks on the road. We're trying to make the fastest, as many trucks on the road. Okay, why am I not finding window stickers? This is pretty ridiculous. Not going to lie. Window sticker. It's at the top. So as you can see, all of them have these three things removed every single time. Multi-contour seat removal. That sucks, but we kind of expected that. Onboard scale, which I could give two craps about that, but I mean, it would be nice. And advanced security pack removal. Now, from what I understand, advanced security pack is like the alarm system, and it monitors the inside of the truck in case they break the window. It can still detect they're inside the truck and trip the alarm. Not a huge deal. Multi-contour seats is a huge deal. And the fact that they're only giving you 300, 600, whatever off is ridiculous. On the ones that don't have power deploying running boards, you get like 250 off. It does not cost $250 to put power deploying running boards on the trucks. I know this because I asked, and they told me to retrofit the truck with power deploying running boards is $2,400. So yeah, that's not at all what the credit is on those. So I don't want a truck with removals. I don't want any of that. And so getting a new truck doesn't make sense for me. So that brings me to my saved offers. I came across this one. Now it's considerably cheaper, considering it was 92,000 new, 69,990 or no 69,9. It's got 7,000 miles on it, which is less than half my Rivian has right now, so not a big deal. It is this antimatter blue, so it looks really dark black, but in the sunlight you can see the hint of blue. These pictures are not proper. I mean, they've photoshopped the background in, and it looks really bad. So it's kind of hard to tell. But in this one, you can kind of see the sunlight on the tailgate. It looks blue. It doesn't have the power deploying running boards, but Well, my Wi-Fi just updated. Um, but at 69 off of 92, I can spend the extra $2,000 to put the power running boards on and take these old ones off. Not a big deal. I've went over the pictures pretty extensively on this one just to see if I've seen any kind of damage, any kind of issues. You really can't see it in these photos, but I did confirm with the dealer that there is a scratch right here on the bottom part of the fender. And they sent me close-up pictures of that today. And I think it can be buffed out. It's honestly not big at all. Also, in some of the interior pictures, there appears to be some damage to the interior. This is one. There is a scuff on the back seat power thing, and we did confirm that is there. Can it be rubbed off or buffed off or whatever? Maybe. I don't know. I'm also not very worried about it because this is the rear seat, and I'm not going to ever be in the rear seat, so not a big deal. The other one is in the other pictures here. There appears to be a pretty large scuff mark below the trailer brake controller. But after further inspection on that, this is dirt. And they were able to clean it off and send me a new picture of it being perfectly fine. So no issues there. So anyway, this is looking good. I've had my gripes about the Lightning. I've talked about how I didn't like it for one reason or another and whatever. But ultimately, I think we are at the point where I have outgrown my Rivian. And I want something bigger. And this is definitely bigger. It's almost twice the size of my Rivian. It has no removals, so it does have multi-contour seats. It does have pretty much everything. The only thing they removed was the Ford Charge Station Pro, which I would not get as a second buyer anyway, and I don't need it because I have Tesla wall connectors everywhere. Two of them being J1772, so I could charge it pretty much anywhere I want. So yeah, if you want to read over all these features, feel free. Pause if you need to. But I've gone through all of this extensively, and I'm pretty sure that this truck is everything I want. It does have the 9.6 kilowatt onboard power. Another video is coming about the business idea if I do end up pulling the trigger on this and buying this truck. But I am going tomorrow to look at it. And, we'll see where things go. I've got some numbers in mind. 92, 214, brand new. They've got it listed for $69,900. According to Cars.com's scale here, it actually says it's not a good deal. It's a fair deal, but it's not a good deal. So I feel like there may be some room for wiggle there. If I can get them down just a little. Or, on the other side of trading my Rivian, if I can get them up a little. I've got some numbers in mind of where I'd like to be. I've also got some numbers in mind of what's the absolute least I would take. But I'm going to try to do some negotiating to get them to get to a happy medium where we're both happy on, this trade. In a perfect world, I would profit $5,000 off of my Rivian, which is what I'd like to do. But I think it's more than fair to assume that we could trade even. And an even trade would also nullify the taxes. So I would know any vehicle tax or purchase tax on this vehicle to just trade. It would be like, it would be exactly the same. Nothing would change. The only thing that would change is I still have a loan on the Rivian. They would pay that loan off and open me a new loan for basically the same amount. And I would probably take it on 60 months instead of 30 whatever, 36. The current loan that I took on the Rivian is on 36 months. So if I paid it off on term, it would be paid off in 2 more years. However, we're looking at like an $860 payment. So if I take the 60 months, I can almost cut that payment in half, which would be so much easier. And I probably won't be paying on it in 5 years. I mean, once my other plans take place, I'll pay it off early. But until then, I would like to have a lower payment. That'd be great. Also, for whatever reason, the Lightning is cheaper to insure than the Rivian. About $300 over 6 months cheaper on my insurance. So tentatively, I may end up doing the trade tomorrow. But I will probably make a video about it. It is a 3-hour drive in each direction to go to this dealer, plus a few hours of negotiation and paperwork. I expect to get home pretty late tomorrow, so probably won't be much video right away. But if it works out, great. If not, I mean, I've still got my Rivian, and it's a great truck, so can't complain. But I think it's time to try something different. And I really do think that this is the right direction. Not to mention, the removals that I showed you on the 23s versus the 22. They've also made a lot of changes that I don't like the audio system in the 22 here is an 18 speaker B&O Unleashed system. For the 23s and now 24s, it's only a 14 speaker. So it's not as good as the original. Plus, the Lightning has things like satellite radio already built in, ready to go. I know Rivian announced recently that they would be adding satellite radio to their trucks, but I question how that will work because if Rivian didn't already put the software or the hardware in for satellite radio, it's likely going to be work over streaming, and that's still going to rely on data connection. There's a lot of places I go where there's no data, but you can still get satellite for satellite radio. And without that hardware, that would be impossible for the Rivian. It would rely entirely on streaming data. So I don't think SiriusXM is going to be as good in the Rivian as it would be in the Lightning. We'll have to wait and see where that goes. But that's just my initial assumption on that. Anyway, I'll let you guys know what I end up doing. But right now, I'm kind of liking the idea of the Lightning.
So here it is, F-150 Lightning 2022. This is a platinum model. Very nice truck all the way around. I know you had some questions about some of the scratches and stuff on it. I'll show you that here in just a few minutes. I think we're going to be able to get those scratches out. I think it's something our detail department probably just missed, so we're definitely going to take another look at it. As you can see here, that one should come out. I put my finger on it earlier, and it got fainter on me. As you can see right there, it usually means we could buff it out pretty easy. This right here is just dirt. But yeah, we should be able to get those light scratches out pretty easily. And as we see here in the interior is actually really, really nice on these. Platinum interior usually holds up pretty well. As you can see here, second row heated seats, all that good stuff. Panoramic sunroof, 360-degree cameras. And that does have the multi-contour seats, as you can see by that middle button right there. That's what activates massaging seats if you don't use the touchscreen display. Platinum interior, of course, nice and really, really beautiful interior. Heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, of course, that large display. If you have any other questions or anything, give me a call or text.
As we are on the way to potentially say goodbye to the Rivian, I want to talk about my ownership and any issues that I've had across having it. Well, first we'll cover any kind of damages that it's picked up. I noticed shortly after buying it that there was a rock chip on the front of the hood, and it was more than just a chip, it was an actual dent, but it was so small it was clearly caused by a rock. You don't normally notice it, but if you're looking over it really good, you'll notice it. Obviously the rear where the garage door came down on it was kind of a big one, and whatever, that's how it goes, I guess. So we did also find hail damage on the hood, and I have no clue if we'll even be able to see it, but there's just little spots on the hood. We found about 4 or 5, and you have to really be looking for it to find it, so hopefully they don't find that. So, issues. I have taken it to the service center twice, and as you can see, it's due for another one. So hopefully we don't get stranded today, because that is a 12-volt battery alert saying that the 12-volt battery is dead. And I'm like, you know what? I was planning on going to go trade this truck today, so whatever. Let's just go. If I make it, I make it. If not, Rivian can come get it, and we're going to have a problem, because I'm really tired of driving it to Atlanta every single time to get service. It is so annoying. I know when I bought the truck, I was thinking, oh, well, you know, Tesla, I don't ever have to take my Tesla to service. Maybe once a year. That's good. I can go to Atlanta once a year. That's fine. And so the first time I had to go to service, I took it, and I was like, all right, got that out of my way. Let's not do that again. And sure enough, something else tore up. And so I had to take it again to service. And that was annoying, but I was like, all right, well, you know, maybe we're good. Maybe it'll go away now. Maybe there'll be no more issues. And here we are, strike three. I don't even remember the first time I took it, what it was for. I'm sure I made a video about it. I'm sure I've got a receipt from where I took it of what all they did. Oh, the trim piece. The trim piece fell off right here. That trim piece just came detached, and I thought that it was broke, so I took it to them to have them replace it. They said they were able to put the old one back on and keep going, so that's what we did. I might have had them check some other things while I was there, but there was a rattle in the back. One of the seat belt mechanisms were loose, like in the side of the door there, or the pillar. So they tightened that up, made that rattle go away. And that was it on the first service appointment. The second service appointment, everything went haywire. Phone as key stopped working. I got the new phone and I couldn't pair it either. Key fob would work sometimes. The key cards would not work at all. That turned out to be a failed RFID sensor in the door handle. They replaced the entire door handle and a fuse that had blown because of that. And that fixed that issue. While it was there, I had them go ahead and check a rattle in the front, which resulted in them replacing the front damper on the driver's side. So, and now 12-volt battery. Now, luckily, there's no other issues that I can really think of. There are noises. If you might hear a little bit of a rattle in the background, and what that is from is not like a problem with the truck or something going wrong. It is wow, I just hit something. That was smart. It is a leaf gets trapped in between the glass and the metal of the roof, and it flaps, and it just does that the whole time. I clean it out on a daily basis, and then it's right back to where it was. So, yeah. Also this morning, so as you know, the spare tire in the truck is not included. It's something you have to buy separately. And I bought it separately. It was $900, but today it's $1,200. And I know for a fact that, car dealerships are not with how things work today. So they're going to say, oh, well, the spare tire's included. We're not going to give you more for that. So I was trying to take it out this morning, and the mechanism to unlock the cover is froze. I mean, I get it's 28 degrees outside, or it was when I got up this morning. But come on, this stuff needs to work. So I guess I'm giving them the spare tire. It's $1,200, but I guess we'll just figure it out, whatever. I thought I was going to be able to resell it and make a little extra money on top, but I guess not. So yeah, that's...
Keep left to stay on Interstate 40 West.
That's the Rivian. Anyway, I this is not 100%. We don't know that I'm trading today. But there are a lot of factors stacking against right now saying I probably should trade. Sorry, my alarm clock went off. I've looked over this Lightning that I'm going to look at quite a bit. I've checked the history. I bought my own history report because you know, sometimes I've had situations where you go to look at the car, not me, but I've had friends go to look at a car, they provide them with a history report, everything looks good, and then come to find out it had been totaled a few months ago and it just wasn't yet reported to the history. So don't want to deal with that. So yeah, I went ahead and ordered my own history report just to make sure, and everything looks really good. I mean, it was a lease vehicle. They picked it up. I'm gonna just hit this because traffic's slowing down on me. They picked it up with like 15 miles on it, drove it to 7,000 miles. I don't know if they ended up getting out of the lease, or maybe they couldn't make the payment anymore, but it doesn't show repossession, it just shows sold at auction. And there's no lemon buyback or anything like that, because that was an issue on several other trucks that I had looked at. None of that reported to the Carfax or the auto check, because we did get both. So everything looks really good on that aspect. There are a few scratches on the truck, but I have a really good detailer, and I'm pretty confident he can get them all out, so no issues there. It doesn't have power running boards, which was a big deal for me, but I've got with a local Ford place to make sure they can just retrofit it, put their own, you know, aftermarket on it. So that's the plan for that. And of course, we're going to get it tinted, like almost tomorrow. All right. I guess I won't be getting over. I'll have to call the tent place, but if they have availability tomorrow, that's what we'll be doing if I end up getting it. And if I don't end up getting it, I have doubts about getting home tonight, because, you know, this truck's saying 12-volt battery low. I don't know how long I've got. You know, Rivian service usually takes a couple of weeks to even get you in. So, I'm not sure. Guess we'll just have to see and find out. So I'll try to make a little video throughout the day, or maybe just recap the end of this video with what I ended up doing. And wish me luck. So as you can tell, I did end up purchasing the truck. Just a couple things to recap here, because I was wrong about some things. So first, Blue Cruise does not auto lane change for you. That is Blue Cruise 1.2, and apparently Ford has not yet made the decision to push that to existing vehicles. Apparently newer vehicles are shipping with it, but existing vehicles, no thank you. So, can't update to 1.2. I asked about it. It's not available for an update. Can't even force it to do it. So, no go on that. Rivian Service did text me back wanting to come do mobile service at my house the following day. And I told them that I ended up selling the truck, so no. And then finally, the running boards. My plan was to do aftermarket running boards. The dealer that I bought the truck from told me $2,400. My local dealer told me $2,050. The issue with this is they're not the genuine OEM running boards that the truck comes with. And so they would have to remove the old running boards to put in power running boards. And the new ones do not have built-in zone lighting. The truck has a feature called zone lighting that you can light up all the way around the truck, but there are lights on the running boards that do that, and I would lose that feature if I chose to replace the boards. Maybe I should have bought the Cybertruck. Just a funny little clip there where I was waiting at the charger the day I went to go get the tent put on. It was kind of a mess. There were only 3 working chargers of 4 total. And there were people cutting in line and then getting mad at other people who were in line trying to take their spot. But in the end, I finally got to charge and was able to get enough to get what I needed done. I found this video. It's a comparison of the Lightning versus the Cybertruck climbing a hill. And Cybertruck did some massive struggles on this. I don't know. I will probably always wonder what if and should I have done the Cybertruck, but at the same time, the price for what you're getting just doesn't seem worth it. If you compare what I lost from getting rid of the Rivian going to the Lightning, the only thing I really lost was onboard air, and I can get an air compressor and run it off the onboard power in the Lightning. I have to be transparent here. I talked about the flaws of the Rivian, and so I want to talk about the flaws of the F-150. I don't know what is up with this app. I don't know if it just generally sucks at all times, or if maybe it's just that they haven't updated my ownership in the app yet. But this Blue Oval Charge Network, this is something you're supposed to set up when you get the car. New cars get 250 kilowatt hour for free, but it also enables you to plug and charge, and it's just kind of makes things easier. We may eventually be forced to use this when Tesla superchargers get access, because you'll have to authenticate and pay somehow, and so you may have to use this. That's the impression I was given. This is what happens every time I try to set it up. I called the dealer and they told me to reset my truck, which seemed stupid because why would I reset my truck when the app doesn't work? But I did. I reset the truck. I had to go through and set up all the settings again. That was the message. I just closed it out. That's all you do. That's all it does. It never takes you in to set this up. So yeah, that didn't work. I ended up trying to call the Blue Oval support line, and the person that I got didn't seem to know what to do, which is weird because if this is your job, this second one here, Blue Oval Charge Network, Blue Cruise, and all other connected services. I called that number. She told me to reset the truck. I'm like, okay, I've already done that, but let's do it again. And I redid it, and still wouldn't work. And then she wanted me to go in and like do a forward pass reset, even though a factory reset would have done that, but whatever. That didn't work. So I spent an hour on the phone, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. The other issue is over here where it says resume key setup, I can't get my phone as key to pair. Just won't do it. Won't work at all. And again, that may have something to do with the fact that, I've not been fully updated as the owner yet. I don't know. I feel like my Super Duty did this for a couple days until I got updated as the owner, and then everything started working. So I'm really hoping things just start working here. My concern, I don't care about phone as key because I carry a key fob with me. It's reliable and I know it works, so that's good. The Blue Oval Charge Network, it's more expensive than just authorizing EA on your phone. So I don't really have any interest in doing that either. But my concern is if that's what we end up having to do to use Tesla superchargers, then I'm not going to be able to use Tesla superchargers until it works. So I want to go ahead and get it set up now because we are about 2 months away, less than 2 months away from gaining access to Tesla superchargers. They said in February. Now, if it's the end of February, then yeah, okay, that's 2 months away. But either way, I want it to work now. So, otherwise, I guess the only other thing that I can complain about is the software updates. And I did have an update come today, as you can see. And it doesn't really tell me what changed. It just says refinements have been made, and that's it. I was under the impression that I would get Blue Cruise 1.2. But after doing some digging, they are not giving Blue Cruise 1.2 to existing owners, at least not yet. They may eventually, but there is no plan at this point to give Blue Cruise 1.2 to us. So 1.2 adds like lane change, so you can put your signal on, the truck will change lanes for you. Way more useful than just regular Blue Cruise. So yeah, we'll have to get back to you on all of that to see if it ends up working out. But right off the bat, I did say that the software is trash, and this is living true to what I said. So, anyway, I'm sure there's plenty more content to come on this. We will likely test the onboard power with powering my house just to see how that works. And here it is after they tinted it. I know I'm just showing pictures and no actual video. It is currently at my detailer to get a new wax, wash, whatever, make it look really good. So when I get it back from that, I will make some actual video and throw them in here. But this is what it looks like tinted, and so far I'm liking it pretty good. Got a few flaws and things that I just mentioned, but honestly, I would be lying if I said the Rivian didn't have flaws as well. If the flaws are small enough and outweighed by the positives, I can overlook them. And I did with the Rivian, and I definitely can with this. So, yeah. All right, well, let's go look at it in person. We'll take a look at the 2022 F-150 Lightning. Very dark color. It's like a dark blue. In the sun it's blue, in the shade it's black. It's kind of see a hint of blue here. Did get the windows tinted. Pretty dark. I like them dark, but it matches the rear. So I just wanted something bigger, and I did put my hitch on here, so I'm gonna take these stickers off. Don't care for those, don't need them. But we'll look at a few things here. This back here is really where I was happy about it. The onboard power system. And we will test this at some point. I'm going to try to plug my house into it just to see. I may need to redo some wiring to make sure it works properly. But you've got 4 20 amp outlets and then one 30 amp 240 volt, like a generator plug basically. And of course, power tailgate. Which is nice. Not a requirement, but nice. Also, you do get, if I can find the button, power frunk. I just took all my stuff out of the Rivian and threw it in here for now. So, yeah, it's a mess. They didn't give me a charging cable, which apparently is supposed to be under here somewhere. And I didn't give them a charging cable to the Rivian. So, fair trade in my opinion. So you do get the traditional start button, which is kind of to be expected with Ford. Go ahead and turn that down. Screen is huge. There's a lot of menus. I don't even know all the menus yet. I do know it has satellite radio, which is probably one of my favorite features. But yeah, there's satellite radio. You do get, like your navigation. Your charging screen is a little better than it used to be when my experience with the Mach-E. So you can see that it's set to 90% charged. It is remembering my charging location. So yeah, that's good. Of course, I haven't tried to move it, 5 feet back and plug it in to see if it still remembers my charging location. But yeah, so far, so good. You do have your Pro Power on board. That was kind of a big selling point for me. I wanted the Pro Power on board. You do get the 2.4 kilowatt up here, I think, and then 7.2 in the rear. Makes it 9.6. I don't know which of these two, because it is two inverters. I don't know which of the two inverters the cabin uses, but you do have a plug-in here that claims to be 20 amp as well. So that's interesting. We'll probably have to test that and see which inverter spikes when I start running something in here. Another thing that you know, a lot of the newer trucks are having removed are your onboard scales. Does exactly what you would expect it to do. It weighs the cargo in the rear of the truck and tells you, you know, how close you are to your payload limit. Mine is a little low because it is a fully loaded truck. But, you know, you can also hook your trailer to it and, you know, for towing, and see, you know, if your load is properly balanced based on how much tongue weight, if you tell it what the trailer weighs. I haven't set up my trailer. I haven't done any of that yet. Zone lighting is pretty neat. You know, I know they came out with these spotlights on the mirrors a couple years ago, and it was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Disable auto lamps. But you can turn it on and choose which direction you want the lights to be, and it's actually pretty bright in every direction, so no complaints with that either. Does have the smart hitch. Just trying to think, you know, things that they are currently removing off of these trucks that that this one does end up having. I don't like CarPlay. I don't use CarPlay. I'm not gonna use CarPlay, so it has it. I'm not gonna use it. Tons of different settings and controls, and you know, you do get your multi-contour seats, which is nice. Not a crazy fan of these cameras because in normal operation, in park or in drive, you only can see the front camera and the 360 degree. Only in reverse do you see the rear camera and 360 degree. At all of the times, you can only choose one or the other camera with no 360 degree. When driving, I can see only the front, no 360 at all. So I get the point of having cameras, but why don't you give me the option to, you know, actually use the cameras while driving? So these are just all different angles. This one's supposed to be zoomed in at the hitch, but it's still pretty hard to see. I think this one actually shows a better view of it, but that's just me. And then this is an auxiliary camera that you can get for your trailer, which is pretty cool. However, the problem I have is, well, let's put it in. Well, this is a good representation of that camera. You can use that camera while driving. Where's the rear? I just totally lost it. Here it is. This is all you can see while driving, which this entire area is just useless. Your camera's kind of squinted up here. Nothing's going on here. And obviously you got your controls for, you know, air conditioning and all that. So, yeah, whatever. It's to each his own, I guess. At usability of the truck, it does a great job. It does have Blue Cruise. It does have, you know, adaptive cruise. It's got pretty much everything you want it to have. It does have this fold flat work surface, but I've had issues with this. And then it works. Sometimes you push the button and it goes down halfway, and then it won't come back, or it won't go down the whole way. It just comes back up and stops. So who knows? I believe this is a neutral button. I'm going to have to check this. The dealer said that they didn't know what this was. I'm pretty sure if I put the truck in neutral, I have to hit this button or the truck won't roll free. So that's something I'm going to have to look into. That's the way it was in the Mach-E at least. So that's what I'm going to assume here. You do have your Pro Trailer Backup Assist. You've got your trailer brake controller. Pretty much everything. This here has a wireless charger, which I didn't even know it closed, to be honest. I took it to have it detailed yesterday, and the detailer closed it. It is really shiny and clean because the detailer just did a pretty good job, as he always does. There are some things about this screen. So this is the COM screen, And it shows you, 266 miles of range. I've got 89% battery. I'm going 0 miles per hour. And then a picture of the truck. When Blue Cruise comes on, I think it moves the mile per hour over to the right, and then it shows the Blue Cruise logo in the middle. The whole screen turns like a bright blue to let you know you're in Blue Cruise. If you come out of that, it's this button. If you come out of that, you get this more intense screen that shows, your miles per hour. Here's your trip information, current miles per kilowatt hour, and all that stuff. And then over here is your range, 266 miles of range. You do have a bar over here to the left that shows, it goes up, shows power that you're putting to the wheels, and then down in the green is regen. It makes a cool little animation of, regenning back into the battery. The issue I have with this is I can't figure out how to get a percentage of the battery here. It's just this bar, and it's 150 0. You're kind of guessing, where's my percentage on that? There's no actual, very precise percentage of what you're actually getting as far as, charge. Not crazy about that. But other than that, this screen does, you got your trip 2, got this trip, which I'm not went anywhere yet. Your tire pressure. You can see power distribution for the rear and front motors. That's just to configure it, driver assistance, and then back to the comm screen, which, as you'll see, goes to a more simplified, easy screen, but it gives you more information, in my opinion. Maybe I've just not figured it out yet, but I'd really like to get a percentage on that other screen. And I can't, maybe I can go through the menus here and see if there's like a setting for it. I'm not sure. That just changes it to kilometers. I don't know what a brake coach is. So yeah, I don't know. All these things, I'll go through it, but I don't think there's really any way to change it. Anyway, so yeah, that's an introduction. I've still got they couldn't transfer my plate, so there's my plate. I have to wait until they do their end of the paperwork to go get that plate moved onto this truck so that I can actually use that plate. And I'm pretty sure they didn't do something right. We're going to see. We'll know for sure in a couple of weeks. But if they did something wrong, I'm going to get fined, and it'll be like a $50 fine for canceling insurance on the plate that I didn't turn in. But I'm not turning that plate in. I'm moving it to this truck. So I don't know. We'll see if we can figure it out. Anyway, more to come on this truck, I'm sure.